Welcome to Tech Bytes and News, your daily roundup of articles featured in Hacker News. Today, we're diving deep into a fascinating New York Times article. How Trump's medical research cuts would hit colleges and hospitals in every state. It's a really impactful piece.
Right, I saw that one. The headline alone is alarming. So, what's the core issue? Is it just about big universities losing funding?
Not quite. It's much broader than that. The Trump administration proposed slashing indirect costs for NIH grants. That's the money that goes to things like building maintenance, utilities, and administrative staff, down to a flat 15%.
15%? That seems incredibly low. What's the impact?
Yeah, it's a huge cut. The article estimates that this would reduce funding by at least $5 billion a year. It's not just the big names like Stanford or Johns Hopkins. It affects hospitals and universities across the country. North Carolina, Missouri, and Pennsylvania, for example, would be disproportionately hit.
Wow, so it's not just about prestige institutions? This is a nationwide problem. And what about the justification for the cuts?
The White House claimed the savings would be reinvested in more research, calling the existing indirect costs administrative bloat. They also suggested that universities might be using these funds for things like DEI programs, which the Trump administration has targeted. But the article points out that the NIH's own data is confusing and incomplete, making it hard to verify these claims.
That's a serious accusation, implying misallocation of funds. But is there any evidence to support that?
The article mentions a conservative think tank, the Heritage Foundation, making that claim. But they didn't offer specific examples. On the other hand, researchers argue that indirect costs are essential for running labs, maintaining equipment, and paying for essential staff. It's not just bloat. It's the infrastructure that makes research possible.
I see. So it's a classic case of conflicting narratives, with a lack of transparency making it difficult to assess the true impact. The article mentions a specific grant to the University of Alabama at Birmingham as an example, right?
Exactly. A $600,000 grant for research on exercise and memory in epilepsy. Under the proposed rules, they would have lost almost $130,000 just from the indirect cost reduction. And that's just one example. The article provides data showing the potential losses for the top 10 NIH grant recipients, both universities and hospitals. Massive numbers.
And what about the long-term consequences? Beyond the immediate financial hit?
The fear is that this will significantly slow down scientific progress. Institutions might cut back on research, shift focus to less complex projects, or even abandon certain research areas altogether. Heather Pierce from the Association of American Medical Colleges said it could slow research, impacting the development of new treatments and diagnostic tools. It's a scary prospect.
It certainly is. So the article paints a pretty grim picture. It highlights the potential for widespread negative consequences, with a lack of clear justification for the cuts. It's a powerful indictment of the policy.
Absolutely. And the fact that a federal court has temporarily blocked the policy shows the seriousness of the concerns. The article concludes by emphasizing the uncertainty surrounding the future of medical research funding and the potential for uneven impacts across different institutions and research areas. It's a complex issue with far-reaching implications.
A truly compelling and concerning analysis. Thanks for breaking it down for us.
You're welcome. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to Tech Bytes and News. We hope you found this discussion informative and a little bit unsettling. Have a great day, and we'll catch you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.